the level of poverty is very high amongst tribals. But the immediate cause is that government programs, whether it is the ICDS or health or nutrition or food security, doesn't reach tribal areas because of absenteeism, because of indifference, because staff doesn't like to work in tribal areas. In the tribal areas, where people used to live on forest wealth, now they find that the nature of forests has changed. It is no longer multi-purpose in nature, and there is focus on just growing timber for markets rather than growing trees which will provide minor forest products which people could eat. Of course, the area was also not so fertile, so agriculture has not done so well in tribal areas. So, combination of all these factors has led to a high degree of malnutrition amongst tribals. Because of displacement, what happens is that tribal children are left behind, or they sleep on the road itself. They also travel with the parents, and they get neglected. The problem of extremist violence affects only about 1/3 of tribal blocks in central India. So 2/3 of the area, if it is still undeveloped or it is schemes are not reaching there, government cannot have the excuse that it's because of violence. In the tribal society, either they suffer in silence or they take to arms. The democratic method of protesting against government, taking out a procession, going to the collector's office and garroting him, all this form of protest is not known to them. Most important would be for the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and Government of India to start monitoring programs of ICDS, PDS, NRHM in the tribal areas. On the ground that these subjects are with the Women and Child Development Ministry or Health Ministry or Food Ministry, but the ministry has been created to look after the interests of tribals, which does not mean only giving them scholarships. So therefore, the ministry must monitor these programs, put pressure on the state government so that these programs are well implemented. And there should be then some linking of transfer of funds from Government of India to the performance which we see in the field by the states. Authentic data is generated. Otherwise, if you depend upon the data which comes from the Anganwadi centers or sub-centers, you will find it is totally fudged. You go to tribal areas in Odisha, in Malkangiri or Koraput, you find a high degree of malaria amongst children. But if you look at the data, hardly anyone dies of malaria. The nature of programs must change from being Anganwadi center specific to neighborhood specific. One should also have mobile vans. We should be traveling every 2-3 days to tribal hamlets and then reaching out to the people. It is seen that when a child is severely malnourished, he or she cannot depend only on what mother is giving. She needs a special kind of high nutritious food. So there should be rehabilitation centers established at the Anganwadi center so that the problem of severely malnourished children is taken care of.